Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see a man who's been in charge for more than a decade, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions, as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Lions. Number 9, Matthew Stafford under center. And working with a new offensive coordinator this year who has said we are a running team. Not something you hear much nowadays, so it remains to be seen what that will mean for Stafford's numbers in 2019. On first down, Stafford here. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Gun. Check. Hey, flipper. Where's your head?
Now the rookie from Boise State, Alexander Madison. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. It's brought in by Dodson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
A gain there of 21 yards. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Here's Madison running on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Black. Check your hot read. Switch. What's that?
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Gun. Stay at home. Wide.
Sproles. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Let's go.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Mike 40. It's going to be a long day.
They'll try to run with Madison. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
John. Check Mike 40. Watch the run.
They'll try to run this one in. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Alexander Madison. His 4th touchdown on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and good by Bailey. Able to punch it in on third down. Makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They get just 2 out of it there, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a first down. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it with Madison. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that first down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little bumping. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
51 the mic, boy, 51. Hey, flipper.
Now it's Sproles. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Sproles. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me at one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from chilly Philadelphia.
Gun. Hey, flipper. He's coming. We got double up.
They'll start out on the ground with Sproles. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's a give to Madison running right. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Check 52 the mic. Check. Wahoo. Hey, watch the slant. 52 is the mic right here, over there, right?
On 3rd down, Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And now out comes Minnesota. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Gun.
They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Back to the ground on 1st down. Here's Madison. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Gun. First.
Here's Sproles. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Hey, we're good. Hey, 382, left 50. Gun. Safety screen. Rhino.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. Sproles lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Gun. Black.
Going on the ground with Madison. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Gun. Wide. Check 4.
Going to run with Madison again. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Madison. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Another carry now for Madison. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Leave it, 48. Gun. Hey, check 20. Hey, steamer. Check.
They'll run with Madison, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
There was the pressure you were talking about, forcing incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Sproles, the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Yellow. Watch the whip. Gun. Watch the motion. Rush in. Flicker. Rush in.
Here's Madison running left and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Gun. Motion. Hey, put your hands on him. Get hands on motion.
On the handoff, it's Madison. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Agnew now to return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. So Stafford and the Lions now trailing 17-10, a little under a minute 50 remaining. A fourth straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Back to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. He'll look to throw. He hits Jermaine Kearse. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now Stafford. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. So here we go, Charles, third down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Minnesota, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they will